Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to help clarify some of the SF104 because I've heard a few more points that aren't being addressed here. There was at one point a story that circulating that you had claimed to be carrying the petition, and I'd like to clear that up because what I think you had said and it got misinterpreted and then spread around was that you were carrying a UCC or a UBC out of Cheyenne petition, correct?
I was carrying petitions for another sponsor because I missed the opportunity to be a sponsor. So I just had some petitions, but I wasn't a sponsor.
The SF104 petition.
Right. And I had town halls in both Saratoga and Rollins.
Okay, well, I have been telling people that you weren't because you were not on as a volunteer.
I'm not as a sponsor or a volunteer because I tried.
Or a circulator because that was the stipulation. Those are the rules.
So perhaps I was outside the rules.
So you were outside the rules, is what I say.
Right.
And so therefore jeopardize the entire effort. What I have been trying to counter is that you said that you carried a petition, and I, as the coordinator, leader of the referendum effort, and then manager of all the volunteers, knew that your name wasn't on there. So I've been telling people that you were not a circulator, trying to clear up at that point, saying perhaps you carried the UCC petition in Cheyenne. So what I would say to that, Dr. Haynes, is that you jeopardize the effort of the people by carrying a petition without being a valid sponsor.
Well, I apologize for that because I didn't know the rules. And when I signed a petition to Cheyenne, then when I carried a few in other places, I didn't realize that I couldn't do that. And so if anything...
The petition circulator that you got them from would have known that because they had attended the petition circulation training. And then the second point I wanted to clear up too was that I understand that you did announce on KGAB a couple times about our referendum effort and did forward it and advance it that way. However, I'm not familiar with any monetary funds as you've addressed that came from you for that effort because that largely came out of my own pocket. The good people of Park County are the ones that rallied together and came up with the money for the petition printing itself. Park County residents, and then the Constitution Party picked up the rest of the tab. And then as I traveled the state, that came out of my own pocket.
So you don't think my travel expenses count?
I wasn't aware of any travel that you did for that.
I see. Well, thinking that it would be better to divide our efforts and not all be in the same place at once, I did travel. And there are people here who know that. If that's still a big issue, then that should tell you very okay.
Not a teddy bear. Just pointing out that you jeopardized the effort of other people by that.
I was a petition driver for Fremont County. We did no training. I do know that there was petitions handed out and on the ballot box. I had people under me that were signed under me, but there was people that, the same as Taylor Haynes, that was taking that petition around, and then we had it all certified and documented.
And you were a valid circulator. Yeah. And you weren't at the training. Dr. Cummings would testify to the fact that there was a centralized training in Casper that many individuals did show up to get the rules on that.
Obviously, was a lot of work, didn't they?
Well, Dr. Haynes, it sounds like you got some work to do on that one, doesn't it?
Well, perhaps.
I was at that so-called training session in Casper. It was probably the worst training session I ever attended. Very little information was given out. No printed material was given out. I was very disappointed.
Okay, do we have any more questions for